but that isn't. I use the word moron in a merely sort of flippant sense. But the main thing is just to. Even if, like, calamities like Trump or Brexit or things happen, even though Brexit hasn't officially actually started to take place yet, it's learning to live with it and, if anything, trying to make you behave in a more calm, thoughtful and considerate way to the people about you, irrespective why they did what they've done or why they voted the way they voted or etc. And it's trying to, in a really poncy way, fix ourselves before we fix the world. But just sodding behave to each other. And if someone has an absolute opposite opinion to you, then don't react to it immediately, listen. And then understand, and don't shout them down, but try to sort of listen to them and then hope that they will be as considerate to you when you voice your opinion.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
I think
it's
it's
deep, isn't it?
It is very deep.
I am deep. Yeah, you just never bother to look.
I will change.
We've achieved something today. That's good. Right?
But I think it's something as well that you just touched on, even touching that subject about us all finding our own voice. And I think you touched on it as well. It's like suddenly waking up and realising that not everybody thinks the same way I do on something that you assumed everyone did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly,
it's one thing on religion because, everyone's going to have their different views and da-da-da-da-da. But something that you just simply think, not trying to be political, but the fact that I would never in a million years have thought they would have put someone who wasn't qualified for the job in the job. And you know what I mean? I'm not trying to, because I know I've got a lot of friends who would have, I've got a lot of American friends. I know, like, a lot of the evangelical churches supported Trump. And so it's kind of like, I understand where they're coming from, even though, I made it very, very clear. Out of the two, I, of course, would have voted for Clinton based on she's the only one qualified for the job.
Because their reasons for voting for him won't be the reasons we wouldn't have voted for him. They'll be the reasons that we wouldn't even consider. Because we're looking at the reasons we won't vote for him.
Exactly.
So it's looking at that and then trying to sort of, find some common ground and not hit each other, which is always a plus.
So how do we find our voice then? How as when you're feeling like you're a nobody, how do you feel like your one singular voice is going to be heard?
Oh, not through Twitter or Facebook. That is an absolute... Twitter is just a way to shout at other people en masse and get a load of en masse shouting back at you.
And then cry.
Facebook is it's only sort of become apparent there's a massive echo chamber. Because you sort of like all the people you're friends with will probably be your best friends because they have a similar mindset to you.
Yes.
So you'll all think the same way and all be sort of talking badly about the same thing as you'll talk really well about another thing. And then, like, even if you think, well, I've seen a story on the Guardian website or even the Mirror or the Radio Times or whatever, and you think this is the article which really brings it to light. I'm going to share it, and you're sharing it with people who already have that opinion.
Right. That's a really good point.
So you're reaching precisely no one whose mind needs to be changed.
Just
from
send me
your
a picture
opinion.
of your cat. That's it. I don't care.
I will also accept cat pictures. And in this time of strife, does not a funny cat video make up for a lot of woe?
Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah. But how you actually find your voice, I don't know. If you've got it seems that even if you've got a name, because I know there are a lot of big, heavy Hollywood names who are sort of advocating voting for Clinton as opposed to the other gentleman, that sort of like used their name and whatever influence they had, and obviously we got the result we did. So even if you've got like chutzpah about you in the media, that doesn't necessarily hold sway. So how do you find your voice? I think it comes to just trying to behave. Don't hit anyone. Don't shout at anyone. And just think before opening your mouth or shouting or even raising your voice, and try to order your own thoughts while nodding sagely as they talk, in order to find a way to, not combat what they're saying, but to sort of offer
them
ground.
Another option as well, or another way of seeing it.
Well, I think we can do that. We are lucky in the careers that we have, even though they're not very well paid careers, which we've already discussed.
Not yet.
Not yet. But, we have an opportunity now. It's like, when the Royal Court started in the 80s, when people were really angry and really cheesed off about Thatcher and things, and this massive theatre movement came along, which was saying, no, we don't want this. We want something else. else, and starting to challenge the governments and the powers that be and everything through the medium of art. I think that's the only way we can do it in terms of what we do and how we can find our voice. You know, we can choose to work on certain projects which will hopefully be able to entertain people as well as being a political voice, or, you know, some kind of... I'm not saying that we're going to ram it down people's throats, but at least, like you say, just offering something out.
You don't want to indoctrinate people, you just want to offer a different perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if we were all open to different perspectives, at least show that level of respect to someone. Accept that, you may see it differently to me, and that is actually okay.
And that stands for the people on the left as well as the people on the right, understanding different people's perspectives.
I like this. Well, we got really political on Jabba.
Ask us a question about what's the most rubbish lunch we've ever had. Let's go back to that. Yeah.
Well, no, what I will go back to is something much simpler, which is all about Barking Mad.
Yay!
Because, as I've said, you guys are fantastic. And what you've done with these characters, I mean, literally, you've taken pieces of paper, black and white, and you have created these people who we've got a building following, and people are looking forward to listen to and to hear from, and, what have they been up to? And, you know, we've had so many strong comments that it's not about that they like the show, but that they like the characters. And any feedback we've got has been about the characters rather than the show as a whole, which I think that shows success.
Yeah,
because then people will follow people, right?
Yeah, but then the feedback about the characters as opposed to the show, but the characters are the show. That comes from the scripts, that comes from what's the idea of it, that comes from the scenario. So we can only do what we do because of the
words
pieces
that are
of
on the
paper that you
have.
have.
Exactly.
So, Ian, being Chef Benedict, or being Alfred, being Sergei, is there a particular character you love? I mean, how do you find those characters? I mean, tell us a little bit about your experience.
I mean, a lot of it, again, due to the way we work, which is sort of, we work very quickly because obviously we get the scripts sometimes on the day.
Okay, I got to say it again, yet again, the Barking Mad actors are really trying to put it out there to the world, so we will put it out there. Yes, we table the scripts. We don't send it ahead. They don't get a moment to read it before they have to start recording it.
No, we do, but we do get a moment because we get them on the day, and then we have read through today. We've had 2 read-throughs of all the scripts we've done, and so I think that because I think you can overthink characters, and as much as you want to being an actor is all about, as you're told in drama school, making choices and taking risks. If you're left with something for too long, you end up overthinking and giving yourself too many choices.
Yeah, exactly.
And then suddenly you can, I mean, as much as you can do as many different takes as you like, you can only put 1 episode of each episode out.
Right.
It's like, here's the director's cut of episode 29 of Barking Mad. And you're not going to release a DVD with deleted scenes and alternate takes. So, getting it there gives you that, you've got to really think on your feet for that first read-through, which is great, because that means you react in the moment, as a person would.
Right.
And then you have a second read-through where, okay, I know what's coming now, so I know how to start adjusting the levels. Yeah, and then you go into studio where you proceed to cock it up.
Yeah. And that's where the editing comes in.
Thank you, Karol.
Oh, they're very nice robes.
Thank you. We like them, especially since Bob's just been promoted.
Oh, right, well done. Are you part of a choir or something?
Choir? Heck no! There are KKK robes.
What?
And Bob here has just been promoted to Grand Dragon.
Yep, means I'm now ruler of the realm.
You're members of the KKK?
Just one step away from Grand Wizard, so he can be the head of the Invisible Empire. Oh, baby, I'm so proud of you.
What? I don't believe this. Are you kidding me?
The KKK ain't no laughing matter, son.
But it's like the same as the audience are listening to it and they care about the characters. We come in, we don't know what's happened, so we're reading through the script and finding out and going, oh, no, she didn't do. Oh, really? And so it's exciting for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
To come in and see, what
and
are we doing?
You have a number of, I suppose, character types in your tool bag.
Yeah.
Right.
Which has come through. I mean, people find their way into
Wow.
acting through different ways, but there are some people, and it's sort of like the way I got into it was through watching other actors and period dramas or comedy shows, and you start to, via osmosis, absorb all of that and develop these little sort of voices. So even if you're going like shopping in Sainsbury's, and you see something like, oh, a tapas roulade, and you think like suddenly you want to like you get a character who's really obsessed with frozen desserts, and they occur to you, and then suddenly you'll read in a script and think, oh my god, that's like that character who's obsessed with frozen desserts.
Right.
And it might not be about roulade, it might be that they're obsessed with tabletops in this script, but so they express themselves in the exact same way, and so suddenly that voice, even without thinking as methodically as that,
it
comes
in.
Yeah.
Because you guys are brilliant. I mean, let it be said, I mean, you guys are brilliant at what you do. I mean, there's so little direction. I feel really bad that, oh yeah, it's Barking Man, directed by Jacqueline Malcolm. I kind of just sit there.
You do nothing.
Read it again. Can we read
She
it one
buys
more
us lunch.
time?
What do you mean she does nothing?
Eat pizza now. That's all I got. But I mean, like, you constantly just delivering something new. And I mean, like today, Josie, you had to. You were a Nigerian black woman.
Nigerian black woman pastor. From Tooting.
Yeah, I don't think you should have put that boot polish on your face, though. That was taking it way too far.
They made me do it.
You wanted to help her
That
get
was-
into the character.
That was so random. When I got the email from Marva recently, just a heads up, you might want to look at a Nigerian accent. Okay, fine. But you know what? I had so much fun playing that pastor today.
What is happening? Why is everyone in my kitchen? It is the middle of the night.
We are here to cast you out. It is time for you to go and rest in peace.
I have spent all week resting in peace. I will return to work tomorrow as planned.
Guys, are you sure he's dead? He seems very real to me. Look.
Do not touch him. He has not yet descended. He could grab your fingers and take you with him.
It was brilliant. You
It was
did
great.
so well.
And I think it's just the thing that you've just... Maybe it's easier because it's on radio, so you know you're not being watched.
Right.
So it doesn't matter with what character, you can just go for it. You can just
Yes.
do whatever you want to do with it. You can go as far and as extreme as you can. So, but yeah, I love playing her. It's brilliant. And I love the fact that we just get to really explore. We get to push ourselves to our absolute limits, really, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, in terms of vocalising things and playing different characters and trying to have a conversation with yourself and sometimes yourself when you're playing 3 or 4 different people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no,
And sometimes
where am I
in the
going?
same scene.
Yeah.
And you sort of
you
think, well, sort of, if this was, if we were sort of like in some great, had a massive unlimited budget and time and things, you think, well, I should record this character and then we'll do the scene.
Yeah.
But because we're in the situation where we want to do it as, you know, in the can as much as possible, I think, can I do these characters talking to each other? And your part of your brain just goes, well, do it.
Yeah.
And you
Just have to do
and
it.
you put and it really pushes you, and I love the
Yeah.
fact that you come out at the end of it thinking, oh, I did it. And whether you succeeded
Right.
or failed, you got to
Yeah, you
some
got through
degree.
it, right,
Yeah.
And you got pizza.
Yeah, and pizza.
But you know, I really want everyone to understand who's listening. You know, so thank you again for listening on to Jabba Talk. But you've got to realise that these guys, it's not like we're going through edit after edit, or you know, rehearsing after rehearsing. We literally today, which is rare, we read through the scripts twice. And then we do the recording in one hit. So it's not like they do, you know, like they do it on TV, like, oh yeah, they're going to play this character now, and then we're going to, oh no, now you must play this character. They will literally stand there and just deliver these characters. So the way you hear it on the programme is exactly how they've just delivered it. And we hardly have to stop. I mean, the only time we'll have to stop is if someone has fluffed their line and they'll say, oh no, I'll take that back. And then they just go again. And so, I mean, that's the brilliance of these guys. I think what you do is absolutely phenomenally excellent. I mean, you've made the show way bigger and better than we even envisioned for it because of your ability to play and to take those risks that you were talking about, Ian. I mean, you just throw yourselves in there and you kind of like, oh, I have no idea how this is going to sound. I don't really care. I'm just going to go for it, because there seems to be between you 4 actors, there seems to be a real trust.
Yeah, definitely.
There that you
I think
developed
that has to
really
be.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it would do when you're in a confined space and huddled around a microphone. You get to know each other really well in a short space
when
of
we
time.
used to share a microphone. And
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we had a communal microphone.
Yeah,
that's when the beatings started, wasn't it? But I'd also say it works both ways, because like as much as like we come in and do it really quickly and get it done and all the different characters, like this, as we've already mentioned, acting is not a thing which happens, you know, concurrently or like one after the other simultaneously. It happens, I mean, for most actors, rarely, and that's why you have to have the in-between jobs. And yet we do it because we love it, but we love it and do it because we kind of need to. It's because it's very cathartic. I like those voices that I said you come up with through day-to-day life. Can you imagine how I'd be if I didn't have this to come to?
An outlet, right?
Or they're just rattling around alone in my house with all these voices talking to me, speaking nonsense to nobody. Whereas I can come and speak nonsense to Josie.
And I get it.
She understands.
We understand.
And then she says some words back to me, and I nod and try and make the right noises.
And then we hit each other.
It's great. So
they are not joking, guys. I mean, seriously, you don't see them. They literally start nudging. It starts with a nudge. One of them will nudge each other because for some reason they're always next to each other next to the mics, and it will start with a nudge. It always starts with a simple nudge, and then I know we've lost them.
They're off.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's usually near to home time when we get or we get
We get a little bit antsy.
This is my last chance to just give her a real great hit.
But also, going back to what you were saying as well, as an actor, you can only work with the text that's on the paper. And if it's no good, it's not going to sound any good, doesn't matter how good you are. If you're Ian McClellan doing a bad script, it's still going to be a bad script.
Right.
So, it's what you guys do in the background, and to create these scripts and to turn them around in the time that you do is absolutely phenomenal as well. So we appreciate having good material to work with.
It makes our life.
Have you been giving her more money than
always?
No, it's just evidence of a 20-year friendship.
I see, right. Got another 19 years to wait.
Sorry.
Okay, so I know we've got to wind down, but I've got to ask both of you this same question. So I'm going to go for Ian first this time.
Okay.
What song? What is your favourite song, or a song that's that you connect with?
No, do you know what's really awful? You said that it was going to end this way at the beginning of the day, and I haven't given one bit of thought to it.
I just thought the same thing.
Oh no!
The one question I warned you about.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It's like immediately I'm trying to think, what anecdote can I tell to try and save time? I'll tell you one which this is just a song that I like, and it is a song called Black Sheep. Really good if I could tell you who sang it, wouldn't it?
That would really help.
Black Sheep, and I don't know, are you able to edit in later? And this is Black Sheep by I'm getting nods, so I'm going to go with it. It's Black Sheep.
Google it.
It's from the film called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which had a mixed reception at the box office, but features some great tracks, and one of them is Black Sheep. So if I'm walking to an audition or something and just sort of want to rock out in my own head, then yeah, that's great. So it's not like my favourite song. I wouldn't be taking it to Desert Island Discs, but it is something that I think more people should hear because it's fab and groovy and cool.
Oh, cool. And that's literally why it just it's one of those songs that really motivate you, like when you've got to get your juices going.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. If it's a hot day and you're walking sort of along, and especially if you're going somewhere and you sort of want to get yourself amped up, and it's great because it is sort of rocky, but it's also fun, and especially if you've seen the film, it's very tongue-in-cheek and has lots of fun connotations to do with that film. But even in of itself, it's just a really well constructed piece of rock music.
Cool. Love that. Thank you. So Black Sheep by
Looking forward to hearing that one.
And your nugget of gold is?
Oh, I've got a big nugget.
I've heard it said.
You heard it first on Jabba Talk.
My tune of choice, it's always got to be Eminem, Lose Yourself. It is just
brilliant.
The most. I use it all the time. I use it in the gym. If I'm needing to lift really heavy, I use it for that. If I'm going into an audition, I'll use it. I'll listen to it before I go in, because it's that, you've got one chance in life, and that's your only chance. And if you mess it up, that's it. There's nothing else. You've got to capture this moment and everything. And also just the fact that it is a fabulous song, and I love Eminem to pieces. I think he's absolutely amazing. And the first time I watched 8 Mile, I spent the whole film waiting for him to perform it, and then got to the end, he doesn't perform it. So for a while I hated the film, but then I went back and watched it again, and oh no, actually no, it's a great movie. Yeah, it really is. So yeah, it's got to be that tune for me.
Okay, and having just looked it up on my iPod, I believe Black Sheep to be by the band or artist known as Metric, with the proviso that please edit that out if I'm wrong.
Metric.
I believe it's metric. That's what it says on my iPod, and iPod never lies.
No, you're right, Ian.
Oh my gosh. Well, look, I know the time is gone, so I have to say thank you to Ian Pink and Josie Mills. Not only for the interview today, but for being on Barking Mad and for what you do in London and around. Because I know both of you. I've been to see. I haven't seen you in other stuff. I
Not
know
enough people employ me acting wise. Not enough people employ me. I'm yours if you'll have me.
But I know you've been up for awards.
Oh well, an award, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So that was a fun.
That
was a fun little arabesque of life, wasn't it? Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was all right.
And Josie, I've seen in so much stuff over the last 20 years.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Thank you. So you've been listening to Jabber Talk. I'm Jackie Malcolm, and the producers, Marva, Gregorio de Souza, Karol Malcolm, we are sisters. And you'll be hearing more from us three directly next week, because we want to talk, and so that people can kind of get to know us as people as well. And yeah, have a fantastic day, guys. You've been listening to Jabber Talk. Time to let the chat out of the bag. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.